Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a video, a bit of a survival video. So we're going to be going out, seeing if we can snare some rabbits. So obviously snaring in Australia is actually illegal. So this is more of a zombie apocalypse, coronavirus, head to your bug out bunker sort of survival scenario. So it's kind of a last resort. If you need to use it to survive, you can go and set some snares. So what we're going to do in this video is just sort of show you how we make our snares, how we set them. We'll go and see if we can find some rabbit warrens and probably set them up around the warrens and show you how we use different methods. We'll do a few different style primitive traps and a few other things. So sit back and relax and enjoy this video, and hopefully if you ever get stuck in a survival sort of situation and you need to find food fast, this video will help you. Managed to find a bit of a warren, and it looks like there's a couple old ones and a fresh one with some paw prints, so I'll try and see if I can get the tripod down in there. That's the hole, and then if you look over there you'll see it lidded with some pretty fresh rabbit prints. Righty, so you'll see here I've got in my hand the little snare. If you can see it, we've got a little bit of a rubber tube here which you go on a stick, and then you've got this wire here that will just go like that and fall on them and tighten up around them when they run through, and this little stick we will stab in the ground sort of next to it. But I'm going to try to get in here without stabbing myself in the head. You actually want your snare to be about an inch off the ground, so you'll see there that's not touching the ground, it's about an inch off the ground, so that's pretty good. And up the other end here we've got this the end of the rope, and there's a nice strong branch here. That looks pretty perfect to me, and that's pretty sensitive to... Alright guys, we've just found this little bit of a trail that runs through here. So yeah, we're gonna just show you the method here of the snare. You got the 1.5 gauge wire, a little bit of heat shrink, and obviously the stick jabs in there, and it just holds it as a stopper, and that's where you want the stopper, and you can adjust it obviously by pulling this wire, and this will shrink in this or make it bigger, whichever one you want. So yeah, the idea is just to put the stick in the ground, and then the rabbit comes in, and that will actually fall down and tighten up around them. So what we're going to do is put it in this little trail. You want to keep it about an inch off the ground. It's probably pretty good there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to funnel the rabbit to go through here, to make him go through here instead of him going around this way. So you want to use some sticks and things like this, and actually like set up basically a wall on either side, funneling him into only that area, and then we'll chuck a few carrots and a few things like that. So now all I've got to do is just wire this up to the tree, and then we'll build a wall, and then I'll get back to you. Alrighty, so we've got the snare set, and like I said, we're just going to try and funnel in through this area here, and just entice them to come through this hole. So you sort of just want to lay out a few branches and sticks and things just to make them come through here instead. Chuck out a few bits of the carrot on the other side of the snare. You want to sort of put it through a bit further through, so he doesn't just poke his head through the snare and nibble at the carrots and bugger off. You want to make it so he actually has to go through the hole to get to it. And then we'll put him a little bit of a treat at the front here as well, and then some bigger chunks behind it. any other areas where he might be able to get in to get to the carrot without having to go through our snare. We'll also block those off because there's a little bit of a gap over this side too. So that will stop him, hopefully, going in through there. And that's it. Alrighty, we're sort of just walking along and we've noticed these little poles. Probably not the best footage to show, but you'll see these little tiny little fresh rabbit poos. So these rabbits, we've noticed they're just pretty much pooping in the same general area. They've got a few different piles spread out throughout the place, and you can actually see the trails running off them. So we're sort of just going to track through and see where these trails end up. So you can see probably from here, you'll actually see a natural track running down, but we know they're coming from up the bush up here. So we're going to follow these trails up and see how we go. If we can find where they're coming through the bush, we'll be able to actually set a snare directly on their trail. So we'll see how we go. We have found a few fresh droppings, and we've sort of tracked them back to a bit of a trail. So I'm going to try and set us another snare here. Hopefully you can see in here, the track runs through in there, so we'll give it a go. Alright guys, here we go. We got my little trap that I was gonna set. It's just a primitive trap, a spring system trap. So we've got a couple components that I'll show you through now, and we'll do this. So this one here is obviously the ground peg. So we should just sharpen the ends of a stick up, and then we're going to cut in a called a L7 notch. So this one's the 7, as you can see there. Just shape it in and then chisel it back, and then round the ends off so you can hammer it down without it splitting. And then the second stick we've got here is the other end. So there's the L7 notch. So this will be the L, which will lock into that one. You see there? I'll explain it to you more in a minute, and I've also notched out in the middle here for our wire snare to run off of the middle of this stick. And then this one here is notched out so you can hold the rope, tie a rope on it, and then that'll pull up on it. And then this one would tie to like a tree like this, and you would bend the tree right over, have your rope coming down off of there onto this stick, and this one would be in the ground, and then that would hold the tension on the stick. With the snare that comes off the side, as soon as a rabbit gets onto this snare on the side here like this will tighten up around it, and it would actually pull the stick apart from the 7 notch, and then the rope from there and the tension on the branch pulling down would then pull it up, and it would end up actually pulling this snare nice and tight. So that's the idea behind it. So we're just going to find a little trail for our rabbits that will set this up in front of the trail, and we'll bend over a sapling and tie with some paracord on here onto the sapling. Alrighty guys, a bit hard to see me, but I just followed in a bit of a track from down the bottom here, following the rabbit poo. So I was going to try use this spring method, hopefully here. I can actually see, you probably can't see it on the camera, but there's an actual track that runs up into behind me here. There's a couple little scratchings, couple little footprints, so the rabbits have definitely come through here at one stage. So what I'm going to do is just set up a snare right here, and I'll try and see if I can show you how it sets up and run it off one of these little saplings just here. So we'll see how we go. So we've got our snare, which is just here. We've got our little snare lock on the end here, and then on here we've got a bit of the old heat shrink holding it onto this metal pole which was driven into the ground, just to keep the snare up off the ground. Leading from the snare, it's going around the back of this tree here and onto our trigger, which is here. So you'll see I've driven that bottom L7 in, and then the top one is in there. The snare's connected to the middle of the snare trap trigger toggle, and then the rope runs up to a sapling above, which is under tension. So the idea is they will come in here, this will tighten up on them, that will pull the string, and it will pull this toggle here apart because it's coming off of this side and around the tree, so it will pull that off, which will then pull it up and tighten up the snare lock. So what we're going to do is we'll just chuck a couple bits of carrot here. I have blocked off this little section here so they can't come around through this way, so the only way they'll be able to come through will be here, and I'll put a couple little chin sticks through here so that way they only get funneled in through here.
Out of every dream there is an overlord trying to bring me down to earth. For every key there is another door more valuable than the first. Flying wings caress my mind. Can we begin this climb? Circling in a deep blue sky, high above the cliffs of life. I'm gonna fly to the greater unknown. I'm gonna rise to where it's told not to go. Reaching for an open door. This is a moment in time. I can't accept it anymore. Being pushed down inside. Rise. Out of every dream there is an overlord trying to bring me down to earth. For every key there is another door more valuable than the first. And out of every dream there is an overlord trying to bring me down to earth. Wider than my biggest dreams is the hope you have for me. A limit to what you see, far beyond me. So why would I stop here in this trial of design, made to make me climb, made to make me rise. Out of every dream there is an overlord trying to bring me down to earth. For every key there is another door more valuable than the first. And out of every dream there is an overlord trying to bring me down to work. For every key there is another door, more valuable than the first. Reaching for an open door. This is a moment in time. I can't accept it anymore. Being pushed down inside. Reaching for an open door. This is a moment in time. I can't accept it anymore. Being pushed down inside.
Alrighty guys, that's the end of my video, so hopefully that's helped a few of you guys out there. Like I said, this is only for the purpose of if you're ever in an emergency situation where you needed to get some food. So we didn't actually kill any rabbits or catch any rabbits. It was more just setting up, showing you different styles like the box perimeter style one that we did halfway through, and the snares over the rabbit holes and things like that. So we have taken them all down. And yeah, like I said, it was mainly just to show you guys how to actually set some snares if you were stuck. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, smash the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So thanks guys for watching, peace out and stay moist.